Man, it is cold out today. Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video for you guys who are new here. My name is Cardiovascular. Morning, it's a nice chill 30 degrees. Almost crashed my car coming into the parking lot to the gym this morning, which was not awesome. But we lived, we didn't crash. That's something to be grateful for. We're at the gym this morning. We got a little bit of back and shoulders. I did have some coffee about 15-20 minutes ago, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking out here. Plus, like I said, it's freezing out, so I'm gonna hurry up, get on in, and we'll get started with today's video. Oh my gosh, we are not starting the morning off too hot, like at all whatsoever. Got my headphones. As you can see, I'm not wearing no contacts. You guys probably didn't even know I wore contacts until I have to wear these big bulky glasses. I thought these glasses were cool in like 10th grade, but now that I wear them, I'm like, these things are the dumbest things in the world. It is what it is. We are gonna just get going with our workout today. I'm gonna put the back workout on the screen for you guys. This workout is to really incorporate my lower lat area to help that develop and get a little more thicker and wider. The reason being is because my bodybuilding show, I felt like that part could have been better. My back was one of my strong points for sure, but there's always parts that you're looking to, improve. You don't want to just stop there and then be like, okay, that's it. We want to improve in every area, whether that's endurance, muscularity, or hypertrophy. So that's what really today's back workout is going to target. So I'm going to quit my complaining about all the shit that isn't going right for me today, because there's way worse that could have happened. I could have crashed my car, but we didn't. Too sure how many of you guys saw it, but in the last clip, the workout we were doing with the rows, I lowered the weight. One very important lesson I'm going to give to you guys is focus on controlling the weight, not moving the weight. It's easier to move a weight than it is to control a weight. And when I started focusing on controlling the weight rather than moving the weight is when I saw the most growth in my back, my biceps, literally everything that I did. It's easy to move weight, but it's harder to control it. And the weight will go up if you focus on controlling it. Just because you're not moving it like you were before doesn't mean that you're not gonna be able to, again, it's just, controlling it gives you so many more benefits than moving it. Moving it also probably results in more injuries and stuff. So, quick little way to humble yourselves and another way to increase your hypertrophy. All right, something that came to mind during my workout was something I implemented in my workout today. So most of the time when I do abs, I don't do planks or anything. But I recently started incorporating planks into my ab workout because your abs need to be well built and endurance built, especially when it comes to running. So it's for a lot of my runners out there that also, are looking to better themselves or suit their body better for running. And this even works for people that are squatting or deadlifting, because if your abdominals are weak, your body will start relying on other body parts that you don't want it to, like your lower back, which my body does when I'm running. It starts to begin to require more from my lower back because my abdominals were not endurance built enough. So incorporating some sort of endurance type workout, because there is endurance workouts that you can do that aren't just running, which we're actually going to be talking about later in this video. Muscular endurance versus cardio endurance, not necessarily versus, but how I increase both of those.
And I guess this is like an early stage into that, but one of the ways that I do that is doing ab workouts like planks, something that I can hold for a duration rather than just a certain amount of reps.
Okay, packages are dropped off for KillBuillt. And if I'm not mistaken, those were the last and final packages that we got for Black Friday. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was expecting a little more from this Black Friday sale, but you know, it's still early on in the process. There's still so much more to figure out with like branding and whatnot. There's always something maybe I could have done better on my end, you know, but we can only kind of do as best as we can. Like a lot of that's out of my control, you know. It is what it is, but happy regardless, to say nonetheless. You know, because one order is better than none, right? Like it would be a way bigger disappointment if I had my Black Friday sale and there was like absolutely no support. Like that would suck. So I'm grateful for the support that I did get. For anyone that did support it, gosh, I have this fuzzy on my nose. Thank you so much. Like it truly was awesome to see orders come in. Like, you know, even though I expected more, doesn't mean I'm still not happy about with what we got. It was just, sometimes you have an expectation and sometimes it's just not met, and that is completely fine. I just wanted to just express my gratitude and say thank you guys. Like it has been a challenge growing my own fitness clothing brand, but you know, seeing just a couple orders here and there and stuff really means like the difference, you know. It really helps me to fuel this thing into something bigger. So I just want to say thank you for that really quick. Other than that, that is that. I'm really pissed off that I have to wear these glasses. They actually ended up ordering contacts, so hopefully those come in soon. Yes, I know, I need the stupid stand already, but I'm penny pinching, all right? I don't want to spend the $20. I'll eventually do it. Maybe after the holidays when I get some more money in my pocket. But in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about endurance more so as a whole. We're going to cover two different types of endurances separately. So we're going to be talking about muscular endurance and your cardiovascular endurance. I'm going to tell you guys how to increase both of them. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because these go hand in hand so much, and I feel like muscular endurance isn't the one that's talked about too much, even though it should be more talked about because it goes so hand in hand with your cardiovascular endurance. So muscular endurance, what is it? I wrote movement right here, but it's not necessarily a movement. You'll find that for building muscular endurance, you mostly just do stationary movements, even though that's not a movement. You just do a stationary workout. And that's why this should actually say stationary workout equals time, because when we're building our endurance, we're not going for a certain amount of reps, right? Endurance kind of means like how long can something last, right? Can you endure the process? Can you endure this? Can you endure that? Endurance is all about time, not about reps, right? And so that's why it's mostly, you know, a stationary movement, because how long can that muscle hold that movement for, or not that movement, but that stationary area that you're trying to go for. So I wrote some examples, like we have planks, we have a wall sit, we have, you know, holding a weight above your head. You know, I think that you could build muscular endurance if you're even like curling, but you're just holding the weight up here, right? That would build muscular endurance. Like how long can you hold the weight up there? So again, we're not going for rep schemes. We're building our muscular endurance by holding ourselves steady. And I think people get kind of confused by that, because you could be like,
well, couldn't I do push-ups for a long period of time and increase the amount of push-ups that I can do for a certain time? Wouldn't that increase my endurance?
not really, because you're at that point improving like your strength and how many push-ups you can do, not necessarily your endurance. Your muscles are gonna build so that you can continue to do more. So it's completely different. I just want to like pinpoint that right there. It's the given amount of time that you can hold something with your muscles. And the correlation of running, so like what does muscular endurance have to do with running? Well, how does your body move? Your body moves based on muscles, and I literally have right here, muscles move you to run. They need endurance to keep you going, right? So if my legs are moving, right, but my legs don't have any muscular endurance and that pain starts to get to me throughout the duration of my race, obviously it's gonna get to me at some point. So that's why you need muscular endurance, especially, you know, it could be swimming, it could be biking, it doesn't necessarily have to be running. That's just what I primarily do for my endurance. So that's why I keep saying running, but that's why muscular endurance is so important, and that's how you build it. You know, if you're looking for like a rep scheme and time, you know, I would kind of treat it like a workout. So maybe you do, let's just say you want to improve your core stability. and you start doing planks. Maybe you do 4 sets of planks, but do it for 60 seconds each. You don't have to start at 60 seconds, maybe you can only do it for 20, but your muscles will eventually build that endurance over time and you'll be able to hold it longer as time goes on. And I need to erase this really quick because now we need to talk about cardiovascular endurance.
12 seconds later.
We're back. So now we have your cardiovascular endurance. I just wrote cardiovas dot because I just didn't want to, honestly, part of me was lazy and then another part of me was like, hey man, like what if I don't get the spacing right? Because my OCD, I was just like, I want enough space on this side and this side to make it look good. You guys probably wouldn't have cared too much. But anyway, cardiovascular endurance. So how do we build that? Well, we're gonna need to improve our zone 2 and our VO2 max. And you guys might be like, okay, well, what are those things? Like, I have no idea what those are. And I get a lot of the times questions about zone 2. And zone 2 is whatever your, I would say, maximum amount of speed that you can go at, but still hold a conversation for the entirety of the run. In other words, I wrote a light jog. So everyone's zone 2 is a little different. You kind of have to figure out what that is for yourself. Now, the reason that zone 2 is so important for building your endurance is because it helps your body to adapt to moving that far, if that makes sense. So let's say that I try to run 10 miles at a 7-minute per mile pace, right? And I just try that without any sort of training. I am not going to get any better. I might get slightly better, but I won't get better because my body hasn't yet gotten used to even moving my legs for that amount of time. Does that make sense? So that's why zone 2 is so important. It's so crucial to improving your endurance because your body has to get used to moving for that long. That's why so many people incorporate it into their running. So I actually have this book right here, and it's 80-20 by, what's his name? Matt Fitzgerald. Insane runner, super athlete when it comes to running and whatnot and endurance sports. But in that book, the whole 80-20 purpose, even the title itself, is about doing 80% of your running at zone 2 and the other 20% at zone 3, zone 4. In other words, like that 7-minute per mile for 10 miles. And I wrote right here, you know, you have to be able to bench 135 before you can get the 315. And essentially what that means is, yeah, I get it. You want to, you know, run 10 miles at a 7-minute per mile pace, but you have to be able to run 10 miles at, you know, maybe like a 10-minute per mile pace first before you can do the other one. So I tried to make that correlation for the bench thing right there to make that make more sense for you guys. So that's why you need to incorporate zone 2 for endurance, because you're going to be able to move your body for longer in that state. And obviously over time, your zone 2 will change. Like, you'll get more fit and more in shape, and your zone 2 will change and you'll get faster. So in other words, your zone 2 time pace that you go at will be faster. So let's just say at the beginning of all this, your zone 2 is 10 minutes per mile. Over time, your body will become more efficient at running and endurance, and your zone 2 might now be at like a 9 flat, you know, for that 10 miles. So you will get faster from doing zone 2. But another way to increase your endurance, and I believe that you have to have this, again, it's kind of part of the 20 aspect of the 80-20 book that I just showed you guys, because the 20 part is for like that higher intensity training. And increasing your VO2 max helps so much because it gives your body more oxygen to use while you're running. And obviously, just hearing that should tell you guys like that is essential for, you know, being able to cover long distances, because if your body can be supplied with more oxygen, the more that it can continue to perform. That's most of the time why we fail during our workouts, because our body is not getting, you know, enough oxygen, or it's not running as efficiently. So some of you guys might be like, well, how do I increase my VO2 max? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna do, again, like I mentioned earlier, those higher zones, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, because that's going to get your heart rate to a higher level. And once your body starts going under that, it's going to adapt and change to allow for more oxygen to be input absorbed into the body. So when you start training at that high intensity, that 20%, your body will start to go, oh, okay, we need to adapt a little bit so that we can withstand this workout that we're going through. And so what happens is capillary beds in your body will actually expand to allow blood to move through the body more easier. And obviously the more blood that we get, the more oxygen that we get, because oxygen is carried through the bloodstream. And so that's why I wrote efficiency right here, because zone 2 and your VO2 max will help to make your endurance more efficient, rather than just like, I don't know, I think people like to think of building endurance as,
Oh, my lungs are just getting better.
no, it's your body actually just getting more efficient at operating so that you can continue to run further or work out more. It has nothing to do with a lot of the conceptions that people like to think it is. That's how you improve your cardiovascular endurance. And this goes hand in hand with weightlifting, especially in the VO2 max part, because a lot of the times I've noticed, especially with me, you know, my personal life, when I get to that point, especially on like squats, whenever I'm doing a higher rep range for squats, I get to a point where I am so exhausted from doing squats, you know, my cardiovascular system is, that I can't continue. My muscles can, but I simply cannot because my cardiovascular system is not built for it. But if I am in shape and my VO2 max is relatively good, I can continue to go further and actually help to build my muscles more, because those capillary beds and everything are more expanded, allowing for more oxygen to go into my bloodstream and everything, so that I can use it for my workout, which will allow me to continue to go further in that workout. So that's why I like to say a lot of the times in my videos, like, you know, cardio can actually help you to improve your gains rather than inhibit, because if you're so, I would say, pooped and fatigued, you know, partway through your workout, especially on squats, you know, if you are in shape, you can go further because you're not so out of breath. But that's how they go hand in hand with each other. I think that, you know, having both muscular endurance and having cardiovascular endurance is just very complementary. And I think that if you aren't doing it, you're missing out on a whole lot for yourself. I also think it's the best way to just simply be fit overall as a human. And if you guys have any questions, ask me down in the comments. I'll answer as many questions as I can. But yeah, I simply wanted to cover that for today's video. I felt that it was necessary to cover, just because you guys probably see me a lot in my videos doing what I'm doing. And you guys are like, how does he do that? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna show y'all. So that's what we did in today's video. With that being said, that is gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully I get some contacts in soon. This freaking sucks. I hate wearing these big, bulbous, freaking stupid glasses. But hopefully next time you see me, I won't be wearing them. Actually, I know I won't, because they come very soon. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys liked today's video. If you guys did, be sure to give it a like. If any of you guys are new here, do not forget to press that subscribe button, because you guys know I will be back. And as always, die trying to do it. The sky's the freaking limit, and I'll see you all in the next one.